The breaking news, police finds one survivor from seat 11A. This is a big breaking. There is a survivor from 11A. He has been taken to the hospital. We'll try to connect with our reporters in Ahmedabad. Right now, I'm joined by Group Captain Tad Vienja. He's an aviation expert. Subsequently, I'll join by other guests. But this is one breaking news which I'm giving you, that police has found one survivor in the plane, seat 11A. It's a big breaking news that a person has survived. There might be other survivors also, though the accident is so severe. It would be a miracle that we find survivors, and then this is like a miracle story that a survivor has been found. I hope the other people also survive who have been severely injured in this crash. But let's wait for a final word from the hospital. There are people who would like to know, what does this picture represent? There are people who would like to know from the experts, what do you make of it? And those are legitimate questions, sir.
I fully appreciate it, but I'm not going to toe the line of speculation. We can talk about a hypothesis.
No, so my question to you, Martin, is what do you make of this video?
Well, I mean, from what we see clearly, this guy was, he couldn't continue flight. He didn't have power assurance. He tried for MCT, maximum continuous thrust. He lost lift. We don't know why they just didn't give him the takeoff thrust and continuous climb thrust he wanted. We don't know. Okay, and it could be anything. There's a hypothesis of bird strike, but bird strike never occurs at 500 feet. Bird strike only occurs at, especially in Ahmedabad, because when I was in SpiceJet, we had about 8 or 9 bird strike incidents, but those happen at about 1,000, 2,000 feet with vultures and those kind of large birds that damage the whole aircraft. So clearly we don't know, and I'm not going to speculate, and I would really like that we don't speculate. Yes, it's tragic. Yes, it's unfortunate. Everybody needs to get involved. But, if you want me to speculate, that's not what I'm going to do, because, I come from a family of pilots. My dad was a pilot. My granddad was a pilot. My dad was in the Air Force. My dad had a helicopter incident in the Air Force. And, the more we speculate, the more we try and finger point, it does nobody any good, because guess what? Those guys who were there in the cockpit are dead. We don't know what they did, but they did everything to save their life and the life of 250 people on board. And I don't think you and I and anybody here on this forum should stand up and criticize and comment on what they did and what they didn't do. I believe, as an aviation professional, let's wait for that investigation to come out. I know everybody, including you, Karthikeyan.
The pic loop of the survivor, one person has survived. This is the pic loop of the survivor. As we said, one person has survived. This is the photograph that has come. He is the survivor. Now let me straight away go to Air Marshal Sanjeev Kapoor, former Chief Flight Safety, Indian Air Force. Sir, thank you so much for joining me, sir. Your opening comments on the show.
See, enough and more has been said on all the channels. I'll just reiterate a few things for the benefit of your viewers. It's one of the most tragic air accidents that the country has seen. And in an era of social media where somebody has recorded what you're playing now, these kind of things were unimaginable a few years ago. The accident investigators used to spend months together, charting out the flight path. And here, the social media, somebody from the rooftop has captured the last moments of the aircraft. Now, it has apparently messed into the ground. The reasons could be many. The options and other factors the crew would have taken. If the crew had time to give a mayday call, it means there was something very serious in the aeroplane which the crew recognized and gave a call to the tower. But as I was seeing in some other channel, they had extrapolated from ADSBs. The aircraft had attained a height of around 425 feet at the end of the runway at the 05 dumbbell, and it had a rate of descent of 475 feet. So if that is correct, some analysis on some channel I was just watching, the crew had precisely 50 seconds, 50 seconds from the highest point in the flight path to the impact. So in this 45 to 50 seconds, they have given a call, and I'm sure they would have tried their level best to revive the engine, to get the thrust back, and to get everything going, which the crew are trained for. The crew is experienced, and all these kind of emergencies which we
Marshal Kapoor,
expect.
just let me
Yeah.
describe you this photo. You'll be very surprised, sir. The person walking in the video is a survivor. Group Captain Jha and Air Marshal Kapoor, sir, this is the photograph of the survivor. The gentleman walking on the road is the survivor, sir. Seat 11A. You can continue, sir.
The actions the crew would have taken, what has exactly happened will only come out once the CBR and FDR are analyzed. I think so. Not weeks. It will take a couple of months to get to the real story, in my appreciation, because everything would be collaborated before addressing. But the larger point is that we cannot bring back all those who have gone. We cannot undo this accident. But what we can do is draw adequate lessons for our national
Marshal
flight safety.
Kapoor, you know, we were getting a lot of calls, we were getting a lot of information, and people were asked, you know, the query was, sir, that every aircraft goes through a tech check. You know, what happened that, you know, after a basic tech check of the engines, which happens, you know, you rev the engines, that it completely collapsed. You know, a lot of people want to know that what happened actually.
In this particular case of today, the aircraft has flown in from Delhi. So it is not originating a flight afresh. The aircraft has flown in from Delhi. So it is tested. The angle of sabotage and other things which certain channels are speculating also is ruled out, because that aircraft has come, must have just refueled here in Ahmedabad, loaded the passengers and way to London. So no, there's hardly any time at this place to do any technical things except routine maintenance.